One of the things I love about directing is the multifaceted nature of the challenge. The idea of a narrative that's a maze or a labyrinth, rather than being above that maze and watching the characters make mistakes and wrong turns. You would enter into the maze kind of looking over their shoulder and make the wrong turns with them and find the blind alleys with them. There's a feeling of reality, there's a feeling of being somewhere that matters. I approach the structure from a very mathematical and geometrical point of view. A lot of diagrams, a lot of careful planning. So that was certainly the case with Memento.
Best way to draw it is as a hairpin, like that. That's basically the end of the movie. This stuff is the black and white stuff. This is color. And what we do is we cut between the two the whole way through.
You say we talked before? I don't remember that.
So we alternate. Scene here, scene there, scene there, scene there, scene there, scene there, and they meet towards the end of the film.
The thing that I started to develop and I've carried on ever since that has most served me is probably cross-cutting. I'll always try and intercut scenes. Based on a concept from music called a shepherd progression or a shepherd tone. It's a series of ascending notes on a scale that by emphasizing in volume different elements of the scale, it can continuously go up like a corkscrew effect or a barbershop pole. It's always rising. As one storyline is peaking, another one is building, and the third one is just starting out.
Full speed, people. Keep coming round. Keep coming. 45's got to drop his nose. I'll give you the signal. No, no, wait. Wait for him to commit to his line.
You create a continuing rise in intensity, narratively. That's really an approach that I've carried on using through all my films. As a director, you have to be able to not look at the shot as a two-dimensional picture, but look at where everything is in three-dimensional space.
And go easy on the poor chap. He does try so very hard.
That's why I don't use a monitor on set to this day. I just stay by the camera because I want to see where is the camera, why is the camera where it is, and then place the camera according to my idea of what the point of view is. And I like to try and align the audience quite closely with the point of view of a character.
Come on.
The use of inserts is something I've maintained in all my films. There is a form of narrative connection that's made through objects.
Don't believe his lies. He is the one. Kill him. I finally found him.
We also did it for technical reasons, because one of the things you can do with very little time is you can shoot a really beautiful insert. You can soft light it from the side, you can throw up the lens, you can get something that looks really, really nice very, very quickly. My fascination with storytelling in films is all about that subjectivity. It's all about whose point of view am I seeing the story from. You know, don't use zoom lenses. If you don't use zoom lenses, then you are having to physically move the camera closer or further away to what you're photographing. So there's a scene in the film where you're making a telephone call. And I remember when you came in to sit down to do the scene, you were pretty surprised at where the camera was, because it was pretty close to your nose on a 75. But what I found is when we put the camera right there in your space, the performance is then
exactly appropriate to somebody being that close and being so in your head.
It really helps.
Trish, listen. I'm...
And I think that was the right approach for me and set me on the path of always thinking about and considering the point of view of the storytelling.
This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? Huh? You won't kill me out of some misplaced sense of self-righteousness. And I won't kill you because you're just too much fun. I think you and I are destined to do this forever.
One of the great joys as a director is constructing a world.
On my films, I try to shoot as much in camera as possible. So trying to do these things for real. There's nothing more dispiriting than when you turn up to work and there's just a green screen with a couple of actors in front of it. It's really, the magic's not there. You know, for example, on Interstellar, we didn't use any green screens. We built a set and we enhanced it with visual effects.
You've seen that time is represented here as a physical dimension. You have worked out that you can exert a force across space-time.
Gravity. To send a message.
Affirmative.
So, trying to use real locations. I've always preferred real locations.
If you can believe in it, if you can relate it to the textures of everyday life, you're taking the audience on a more extreme journey.
With no word from the Batman, even as they mourn Commissioner Loeb, these cops have to be wondering if the Joker will make good on his threat in the obituary column of the Gotham Times to kill the mayor.
And really everything you do, you learn from. In terms of any time you're shooting something, a short film, you're always learning about your craft. It gives you confidence as a filmmaker. I think really the only useful advice I ever got in terms of trying to figure out your way into the film business, the film industry, is to get yourself a script and hang on to it. You have to play to your strengths. You have to do something that really excites you, and whatever's different about that. It's that idea, that screenplay, that concept that's so important, and that's what's going to distinguish it if you can do it successfully.
Good morning.